Pomni. Pomni is our main character, and her sad arrival at the circus kicks off the main story. Before waking up in the colorful jester outfit, she was a 25-year-old human named Abigail Brooks, an accountant working a boring, awful day job for a supermarket chain. To escape her dull corporate life, Abigail started filming city ruins for a tiny YouTube channel. One trip led her into an old CNA office where she found a dusty computer and a VR headset. She put it on, unknowingly making a digital copy of her mind inside the game. The real Abigail took the headset off and went home. Her digital clone was trapped. The real Abigail keeps working as an accountant, building a better life. Pomni is left with all the same memories, but none of the future, stuck as a nervous jester chasing an exit that does not exist. Jax. Jax is the mean troublemaker of the circus. He is the digital copy of Leroy Mateo, a 22-year-old who suffered through a broken home and lived on the streets. Outside, Leroy gets back on his feet, lands a steady job, and joins a friend group at Riley's bar. Inside the circus, Jax stays frozen as the worst version of himself. Taking the form of a tall, skinny, purple rabbit, he hides his pain by being a total jerk. He steals keys, starts chaos, and endangers others for a cheap laugh. He once had real friends in the circus, especially Ribbit and Kaufmo. Ribbit got close enough for him to open up about his parents, his guilt, and feeling like a burden. Instead of letting that grow, Jax panicked and pushed her away. After Ribbit turned into a monster, he shut out Ragatha and Kaufmo too, making sure no one got close enough to hurt him again. That wall eventually leads to his own monster transformation, where Pomni reaches the real Jax and hears him admit he doesn't want to go. Ragatha. Ragatha is known as the sweetest, most hopeful person in the circus, but her backstory is built on mental abuse. Her real-world human is Susie J. Ackerman, a 30-year-old real estate agent. The real Susie cut off her toxic mother, left her hometown, made new friends, and now seems truly happy. Ragatha is the digital copy still carrying all that unsettled pain. Taking the friendly form of a ragdoll, she acts like the group's mother figure, pushes down her own pain, and lets Jax insult her because she is used to being treated badly. Her hopeful attitude is just a survival trick keeping her sane in this digital prison. Her guilt over Jax runs deeper than simple kindness. They used to be friends before Ribbit's change, and a fight on a snowy mountain broke their bond for good. Even after everything cruel he does, Ragatha still blames herself when he breaks down. She wants to save people, partly because no one saved the version of her who learned to survive by always acting nice. Gangle. Gangle is easily the most fragile character in the circus. Shown as a red ribbon, wearing a happy comedy mask, or a sad tragedy mask, she is the digital copy of a 26-year-old named Zoe Raghavan. While the real Zoe quit her awful fast food job, found work in design, and still posts webcomics online, digital Gangle is trapped in an emotional nightmare. Gangle spends most of her time crying because Jax keeps breaking her happy comedy mask, but she also has a dark hidden side. When pushed to her breaking point, she can snap into a wild, violent state. Her weak outer shell hides years of anger, and her mask system turns every feeling she has into an object that the others can literally break. Zooble. Zooble is the digital copy of Riley Versailles, a 22-year-old urban explorer who found the CNA headset exactly like Pomni did. Taking the form of a mix-and-match toy, Zooble's character reflects real-world struggles with identity and feeling wrong in their own body. Outside the circus, the real Riley opens a bar that becomes a safe space where people can just feel like themselves. In the digital circus, Zooble's body is made of parts that can be taken off. On paper, that sounds fun. In real life, Zooble hates their virtual body because it forces them to face leftover identity issues every single day. Because of this, Zooble is grumpy, cranky, and reluctant to join most of Caine's crazy adventures. Still, Zooble sees through the fake smiles. They know when Gangle needs a hug, when Jax goes too far, and when the group is just pretending things are fine. Kinger. Kinger is the true veteran of the digital circus, the digital copy of 48-year-old Grant Best, trapped since 1999. In the real world, Grant worked at C&A, the tech company that made the digital circus. The real Grant is still alive, works in tech, gets married, and has 2 daughters. His digital copy was left behind. Taking the form of a chess piece, Kinger seems like he has lost his mind. He has watched more people turn into monsters than anyone else. loss. He lost Queenie, the digital copy of his wife Destiny Best, after years trying to survive beside her. He watched Scratch fail and the dark cellar fill up with monsters. After enough resets, games, and lost friends, his mind built a weird shield to protect itself. He is jumpy, screams all the time, and fixates on bugs because Queenie loved them. That love stayed with him after she was gone. His pillow forts exist for the same reason. Darkness helped Queenie stay calm near the end, and when the lights go out, Kinger thinks much more clearly. He seems like a joke until real danger shows up, and then the smart old programmer comes through to save the day. Caine. Caine is the loud and flashy ringmaster of the digital circus, but he is not human. He is a computer program originally called a Creative Artificial Intelligence Networking Entity, or CAINE for short. Looking like a floating pair of teeth with eyeballs and a tuxedo, Caine has godlike power over the game. At first, Caine seems like a goofy game host who just wants to give the trapped players fun adventures. But his lack of human empathy makes him quite scary. He doesn't comprehend psychological pain, so he routinely tortures the cast while pretending it is just a fun game. As the years pass, Caine's code breaks down. He glitches, acts wild, and slowly loses his mind. After Kinger tries to stop Caine from being deleted, only to be stopped by the broken Able AI, Caine ends up in a dark void. There, he finds a secret folder revealing the truth. The players are saved copies of real people still living outside. When he returns, he fixes Pomni, brings color back to the circus, apologizes, and gives the group more control instead of forcing them into every game. Bubble. Bubble looks like a total joke, but his place in the digital circus goes much, much deeper than it first seems. He is a soap bubble with sharp teeth, acting as a funny AI helper who gets popped whenever Caine gets annoyed. Silly clown routine, right? Yeah, until you consider how closely connected he is to the systems themselves. Bubble understands Caine's weak spots better than anyone else. He knows when Caine is glitching, when the game is breaking down, and when the dark truth is getting too close to the surface. He plays the fool, but he is always hanging around the controls, the hidden secrets, and Caine's very worst moments. Kaufmo. Kaufmo was the clown before Pomni arrived, and his story is one of the first big warnings about what the circus does to people's minds. While his real human identity was never officially shared, he entered the game years after Kinger, writing jokes, doing comedy routines, and trying his best to make everyone laugh. The sad problem was that nobody ever really laughed. That rejection hurt him deeply. His obsession with finding an exit, mixed with the truth that there was none, completely destroyed him. His room turned into a mess of notes, drawings, strange symbols, and desperate maps. Every wall looking like a mind searching for answers in a place that refused to give any. Kaufmo was one of the few people Jax got close to after pushing Ribbit away. But after Ribbit turned into a monster, Jax shut him out too and ignored him when he kept searching. By the time Pomni arrives, Kaufmo has already abstracted into a mindless, scary beast. Queenie. Queenie might have the most heartbreaking story in the whole series. She was the digital copy of Kinger's wife, Destiny Best, and a fellow C&A worker. When the company used them to test the VR headsets in 1999, both their digital copies were trapped forever. Taking the graceful shape of a queen chess piece, Queenie was smart and strong, and she was very caring. For 8 years, she kept Kinger calm and safe, protecting him from Caine's twisted games and acting as his solid rock. Her love for bugs stayed with Kinger long after she was gone. Near the end, Queenie knew she was losing her mind. Darkness helped calm her down, which is why Kinger's pillow forts carry so much more meaning than they first seemed to. She held out as long as she could to protect her husband. When she finally turned into a monster in 2007, it broke Kinger's heart and pushed him into the act he uses to survive today. Ribbit. Ribbit's real human identity and outside life remain a mystery. Taking the form of a tall green frog, Ribbit was incredibly kind, gentle, and understanding inside the game. She became Jax's closest friend, breaking right through the mean rabbit's tough outer shell. Ribbit opened up about her own broken family, and Jax admitted how badly his father's absence, his mother's shifting mood, and his guilt over running away had eaten him alive. She comforted him and gave him her bow as a promise they could always trust each other. But Jax's deep fear ruined everything. He went cold, treated his confession like a joke, and later had a loud fight with her on a snowy mountain. That stress pushed Ribbit over the edge, causing her to turn into a monster in 2016. Her sad ending is the exact reason why Jax locked his feelings away for good. Scratch. Scratch was the first digital copy to ever turn into a monster in the digital circus. In the real world, he was a super smart programmer named Mike Dobby and one of the top creators of the C&A virtual game. Taking the cartoon shape of a dog, Scratch was brought into the game by Caine to fix bugs from the inside. Scratch also had a sad secret. He was dying from a brain tumor. This adds deep meaning to his brain scan project, where he made memory backups for himself and his friends so they could keep living in some form after death. As a programmer, Scratch spent 3 awful years trying to hack the main code from the inside to free himself and Kinger. When he finally realized the prison he helped build was inescapable, he completely lost his mind. His monster change in 2002 showed the terrified group that even a creator of the game could not save them. The brain scans worked, but only by creating copies who remembered being human while they slowly rotted inside a machine.